Yabba dabba doo, yabba dabba dabba doo. I am Britain. How are you?
I am Pat. I am fine.
I would like to 69. Welcome to the podcast. This is my name is Comrade Brit.
I am Pat.
And you're listening to Soy Trek on the Dumb Idiot Bullshit Podcast Network. What's happening in your world, old Patty Man?
I've got a cat.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Went up to New Hampshire to get a cat.
Yeah, it was a fun 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of nice, being where you are, because like Rhode Island is so small, you can drive to like 5 states within an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I can basically like just cross over to Massachusetts in about a mile, I think.
Yeah.
Connecticut's not too far, and
Oh.
yeah, I regularly go between 4 states.
Yeah, and you're close
basis.
to like New Hampshire, Vermont, not too far from Maine. Even New York isn't that far away. Yeah, you're pretty consolidated up there. Is what they did.
Oh yeah,
pretty consolidated. Northeast United States. Anyway, we have a Patreon. Did you know about that?
no.
Yeah. Well, we do have a Patreon, and it's at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. If you like what you hear, you want to keep us ad-free, editorially independent, and you want to get some cool stuff maybe out of it, sign up patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. And also listen to our other podcasts on the Dumb Idiot Bullshit Podcast Network, including The Media Dungeon, Soy Trek, of course, which you're listening to. Yeah. We got Prison Breakdown. We got Getting Head of Bucket Cast. We got My Wife. We got Dumb Idiot Bullshit. We got a whole bunch of shit going on. We got so many things in the works. Not really, not in the works, but it's things happening that we've been doing for quite some time now. Anyway, for as little as $2 a month, you can help support us, patreon.com/dumbidiotbs, or, for $5 a month, you're a producer of our show, and we say thank you to people just like Dylan Lance, Jordan Hale, Elizabeth Hearn, Nick Savard, Shane Sawyer, David Craning Sites, Electric Baphomet, Gursky, Jormore, Kyle Simmons, Gillian McCrary, SFC Punk, 7 of 9, D. Riker, Ethan Adams, James Hartman, Iggy, Abigail Simpson, Shane Williams, Sam Mayo, Seb, Robert Yolito, Asher Pliskin, Skeptic, Papa Poison, Awful Star Trek Drawings, Jose Martinez, Gabe Siciliano, Big Strong Boy, Vinny, Luna Dahlia, Former Twink, Nathan G, DJ Robinson, Phil McCavity, Danny, Locke Fenile, Anthony Cabrera, B-Flig, and our good friends over at the Hate Speech Podcast, the Bruce Campbell Podcast, and Anamorphin Time, a podcast about Animorphs. Good friends of ours. Yeah.
If you could anamorph into anyone, any animal, what would you anamorph into?
Oh, that's a good question. Something that could fly, I think. Maybe a duck is pretty cool, I guess. Something that can fly and go underwater is pretty cool.
You could listen to, and then you could be blasting Natty and Bruglia's like a bird.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
That's not Natalie and Bruglia. That's, who is that? That's, I'm Like a Bird is Nelly Furtado.
That's right. Okay.
Natalie and Bruglia is Torn.
I mixed up my my early 2000s songstresses.
Starts with N.
Yeah.
Don't get any other N words mixed up. Don't go doing that.
I'm sorry, Nelly Furtado, if you're listening.
So, for $10 a month or more, you get access to
the Media Dungeon.
What's the Media Dungeon, you may ask? Well, it's another podcast of ours where we review movies that are on my server.
The Media Dungeon.
And you get access to there, and it's basically like Netflix, but I've got like 5 times as many films as Netflix and Hulu combined. I've got like, 5 times the shows of Disney Plus. I've got so much shit on there. I've got so many things.
Disney's gonna buy you out.
Well, I mean, buy me out, send their lawyers after me? Perhaps.
Yes.
Perhaps.
By
We'll
buy
see.
you out, I mean they're gonna break your legs.
Yes, yeah. They're going to come over in a mouse costume with one of those Tanya Harding batons and just, like, kneecap me.
You fucked with the wrong fucking person.
Yeah, that's the last thing I hear before the lights go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then for $20 a month, you get the merch tier, which I actually need to get on that for this month. Oh, shoot, I'm super late this month. I just started a new job, so I've been a little busy, but I bought the planks for it. I bought shorts, so I'm going to be sending out shorts this month. So for $20 a month, you get something cool every month, like a shirt, shorts, stickers, pins, whatever I come up with that month. Most of it's Star Trek related, sometimes not, but
Are they going to be short shorts?
No, they're just regular, like, I don't know, they got like a 12-inch inseam or something on them. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the short shorts are harder to print on, unfortunately. So
that's true.
Yeah. Especially because they usually have a seam in the middle. And you want to, print something on the ass, it's difficult.
Just like scrotums, they have a seam in the middle.
Exactly like scrotums. And if you want to try to print something, heat press something on it is very difficult as well. So you're right. Your metaphor, right on, dog. But anyway, so that's at our Patreon, at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs. We got lots of cool stuff there. Go and check it out. Anyway, so let's get into the meat of the day. What are we watching today there, Pat?
Deep Space Nine, Rocks and Shoals?
Correct, Rocks and Shoals. Wow. It's the second episode from the 6th season of Deep Space Nine, and this is like, honestly, the first like 7 episodes of this season are, I think, probably the best run in DS9. Like, actually, if you combine like the last like 5 episodes of season 5, I think that's like the best run of any Star Trek right there. Is like that like 10 to 12 block episode, block of episodes between season 5 and 6 are just fucking incredible. Yeah. So, and this is right in there. This is I'm surprised we haven't reviewed this one before. It's been one of my favorites for a long time. It's one of those ones that's been up on my Plex with watched like multiple times, and I still go and watch it. But it's pretty fantastic. So let's get into it. This episode, Rocks and Shoals, was first aired on October 6th, 1997. It's the 125th episode produced of DS9, but the 124th episode released of DS9. So it was produced out of order. And it is the 482nd episode of Star Trek released overall. This one is written by Ronald D. Moore, who we know very well, absolute legend, writer of 62 Star Trek episodes, as well as Star Trek Generations and First Contact. And this one is directed by almost equally prolific guy, actually half as prolific. He Michael Vehar, who is a tenured Star Trek director, having done 31 episodes of Star Trek across TNG through Enterprise, including Coming of Age from TNG, DS9's Empok Noir and Bada Bing Bada Bang, Voyager's Pathfinder, Year of Hell Part 2, and Unimatrix Zero Part 2, and Enterprise's Stratagem and the Anar. So very, he has some good episodes under his belt. Not a ton of great episodes, but here and there, some pretty good Voyager under his belt, I'd say.
Oh yeah, and isn't Anar the episode where Shran and
it's definitely a Shran episode.
Yeah, and like they also land on a planet and they're working together.
Yeah,
because that's when they meet the Anar.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Shran meets his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Shran his significant Shran other. No, that doesn't work at all. I tried and I failed. Everybody. I want you to know I failed. I deserve that. Okay, stop. Yeah, let's get into this episode. So, we start on a captain's log from none other than Cisco. Captain's log supplemental. O'Brien needed 3 days to restore the main power to our commandeered Dominion ship, but he's not going to get them. Sensors have detected 2 Jem'Hadar fighters heading our way, and without main power, our chances of survival are slim to none. Which is a great setup for the episode. It lets us know exactly what happened in the last episode, kind of where they are on this adventure. And this is known as the Dominion Invasion arc. It started at the end of Season 5 and continues through to like the 5th episode, I think, of Season 6. So,
If those evil Cardassians are occupying...
and Bac Noir at this point.
Yeah.
So... Cisco and his crew are stranded deep in Dominion-held space on their captured Jem'Hadar ship, and they don't have warp drive. Miles O'Brien and Nog are busy making repairs to it. 2 Jem'Hadar fighters approach the ship and attack immediately. Their only option is to make a run for uncharted dark matter nebula, and they're like, they won't follow us in there, and they're like, it's uncharted. We don't know what's going to happen. It's like, fucking do it. Fucking do it!
Just once when they say these kind of things, like, we're going to go into that nebula, they won't follow us in there, like, I just want them to be like, let's follow, show the other ship and be like, let's follow them in there.
Or the nebula just swallows them whole and everyone dies. And they're like, and at the very last second, they're like, I said it was uncharted!
Yeah, it's like they always talk about how dangerous it is. They always talk about how dangerous it is to enter the nebulas, and then nothing ever really bad happens except to the person who pursues them into it.
Yeah.
Just once, I want that nebula to be bad.
Yeah, an evil nebula. So Dax is injured in a firefight, and Bashir thinks that the symbiont might have been injured too. All ship functions have been disabled, and they begin to descend towards an unknown Class M planet in a very fun moment with Garrick, and he's like wearing the viewfinder, and he's basically like, oh shit, motherfuckers, and as they crash land towards the planet.
Yeah, he's wearing the Dragon Ball Z power level detector.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
it's over 9,000.
Here's where we get the opening credits. It's like, I don't know, like 4 minutes in. It's great, strong, cold open. Lets us know exactly what the fuck's happening and where we're going with this.
Almost like the beginning of Enemy Mine, almost.
A little bit. Which I don't know if... Yeah, I think I told you. Apparently, Terry Matalas, showrunner of Star Trek Picard Season 3, has optioned Enemy Mine, and he's going to remake it. Which, I don't know. Could be something. I don't know if it needs to be remade, but I'm looking forward to see what he tries, at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like... And Enemy Mine almost is like a remake. What was the name of the movie? Oh yeah, Red Sun. Like it's about like a Japanese fighter pilot and an American fighter pilot who land on a island together and then sort of have to grudgingly. And
then they start a family together.
Yeah, they start. Well, not really. It's more antagonistic, but it is. But they kind of begrudgingly work together. It's not as touching as Enemy Mine, but Enemy Mine still fucks. I think I rewatched that semi recently.
Yeah, I watched it a few years ago, and it still holds up. I think it actually like maybe even has gotten better because it's heavily like practical effects, which is great. Lots of miniatures and shit like that, and it's got a very cool like 80s aesthetic to it still. But it's also like very like disarming as a movie because you go in like being like, oh, Enemy Mine, that's gonna be about fucking a minefield or some shit, and I don't know. It's
well, there is I guess a literal mine in it. Yeah. Like at the end, like like they have the Drax, putting them into slave labor.
Right. But it's
but it is like great, like, because it's like all practical effects, and also just like it's basically like a Star Trek cave episode. They're just like on a crappy planet, and that
it's a little bit Darmok and Jalad, a little bit that. So we get our opening credits, and after that, the ship crash lands into the sea just off the coast, but everyone on the crew escapes with their lives. A Vorta named Kevon, played by Jeffrey Combs, of course, and a group of Jem'Hadar have crashed onto the planet a couple days earlier.
That's not played by Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wild. We'd love to see Jeffrey Combs in every role in this.
Yeah, strangely, there is, like, Jeffrey, like, Wayun's referenced, but he's, like, on Deep Space Nine, but we don't see him.
Right. So
I can't remember who played that little freak. He doesn't blink. He's a pretty good Vorta.
Yeah. The Jem'Hadar's first and second are dead. And brief explanation, if you don't know how Jem'Hadar culture works, like the first is the leader of the group, and then it befalls to the second. But even if like the first and second are dead, they can't be replaced unless their Vorta says so. So, like, the way their society is set up is the founders, the changelings, control the Vorta, and the Vorta, in turn, control the Jem'Hadar. And so,
actually, the guy who plays that Vorta, Kevon, he's almost like a junior Jeffrey Combs, where he was also in Enterprise as an Andorian captain, and also in Voyager as Salwyn.
No shit. Wild.
So yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people in Star Trek who play like 5-10 different roles. It's
Oh yeah.
It's not just the Combs. A lot of Ferengis crossover and do a lot of other things. So yeah. Even like, I mean, even like some of the characters on Deep Space Nine play multiple roles.
Yeah, J.G. Hertzler plays. He was like he played a changeling in one episode. He also, the changeling that could then become a ship.
Yeah. And
he was also another Klingon on Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, even people in the main casts of different Star Treks, like, Brent Spiner has played like 5 different characters.
Almost the same thing.
Yeah, and Noonien Soongs, yeah. And then, Worf, or Michael Dorn has played both Worf forever, but also played Worf's grandfather in Star Trek 6. There's a bunch of people who've played fucking even Riker has played Riker and Thomas Riker. So so the Jem'Hadar first and second are dead, and Kevon, the Vorta, is badly wounded, and they're running out of Ketracel White. And it's like the way this actor who plays Kevon is like he's so good at like subtlety. He just like looks in the case of white and he's like, oh, and he gives like this grim face. And he's like, oh, we're fucked. Yeah, very good though.
I don't have my drugs. I'm not. All their drugs got destroyed.
Also, they cannot establish communications with the Dominion off planet, so they're all fucked. So, crawling onto shore with what they could salvage from the ship, Cisco and the others have a much-needed laugh when O'Brien complains about tearing his pant leg. The crew laughs in one of the greatest moments of camaraderie and levity in all of Star Trek. It's like just a really good moment wherever you get Cisco's like ha 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 laugh, and it's everyone else. It overpowers everything, but it's really great.
Yeah, just like the shot of like their ship sinking in the ocean and they're all fucked up, and O'Brien's concerned about his pants.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm just concerned about it because now you can see my massive dick. And Nog's like, damn, Mr. O'Brien. That's chief to you.
That does. Yeah, I mean that foreshadows when he's like trying to hide from the Jem'Hadar later in the episode, but they just follow the dick trail that he leaves in the sand.
So back on the Dominion-controlled Deep Space Nine, which should we call it Empok Nar, since it's not really Deep Space Nine now.
Technically, I guess.
So Kira wakes up at 5 a.m. for another day of duty with the Dominion and their Cardassian allies. She boards the turbo lift, which is filled with Jem'Hadar and Cardassians. Arriving at her station in ops, she thanks Mevik, a Cardassian, for her morning Raktajino. In a cave on the planet, Kivon discusses their dire situation with the third of the Jem'Hadar. He says it will be 10 days before they can even attempt to establish communications with the Dominion. Kivon distributes a very limited dose of Ketracel White to the Jem'Hadar soldiers, and there's like only one. And he's like only one. And he's like, we must make it last. And this is a really great moment of tension and like indecision between these people. Between the Jem'Hadar and the Vorta. Meanwhile, Sisko and the crew set up camp in another cave where Bashir can stabilize Dax and treat her on a slab of rock. Which makes Dax, I think, like Jesus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think.
They just needed to have like a boulder in front of the cave that magically would roll away and not end 3 days.
Right.
And I guess, like, technically, Dax does die and is reborn in this season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Dax is Jesus, baby. Yeah.
Dax is Jesus.
We got two Jesuses on this program. We got trans worm Jesus, and then we got black Jesus. Hell yeah. We'd love to see it.
We're like actual worm Jesus and then wormhole Jesus.
Right. We got the two worms. This is a program about that worm Jesus. I said, give me that.
Give me that worm, Jesus, bitch.
So, over with Nog and Garrick, they're on a survey mission to find food and water. Nog is apprehensive around Garrick ever since he tied him up and threatened to kill him. Garrick's like, but yeah, there were like extenuating circumstances. But Nog declares that he's like, I will walk beside you and I will walk behind you, but I'll never turn my back on you again. And Garrick's like, there may be hope for you yet. And it's actually a really touching moment between the two of them. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, Garrick is genuinely impressed with him. He's just like,
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to use that line. That's fucking sick, dog. That's some fire shit. You spitting fire, dog.
That is a hard-ass line.
Several Jem'Hadar soldiers appear around Garrick and Nog, and they are taken prisoner. Nog and Garrick are being interrogated at the Jem'Hadar camp. Nog refuses to give more than just his name and his Starfleet serial number, and the Jem'Hadar turn their weapons on him and Garrick. Garrick tells Nog to shut the fuck up, and he's... wait, I got the...
You need to shut the fuck up!
Garrick tells Nog to shut up, and Kivon turns to the Cardassian. Garrick claims to be Kamar, one of the Dominion's Cardassian allies, who has been captured by the USS Centaur. Kivon sees through this lie, holding up the Starfleet comm badge that Garrick was wearing. It doesn't really work there. So Kivon says he only has one question, and asks if there's a doctor in his unit. Garrick, not knowing exactly what to say, decides to tell the truth, and he's like, yeah, okay, I do got a doctor. He's my twink.
Yeah.
He's my fuck button. Fuck button.
We all got that one homie who don't play about getting his ass ate.
Oh yeah, no. Especially if he's your doctor, that's perfect. That's perfect. You know, that's a great situation. You know. He like Garrick will be the first person to know. Actually, Bashir will, but like he will know immediately if he ever has prostate cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Bashir doing some digging around up in there. Nog is furious with Garrick, but Kevon says he just saved both their lives. Kevon sends the Jem'Hadar III to assess the Federation's strength, but orders him not to engage at all. On occupied DS9, Jake Sisko is interviewing Odo and Kira in the security office about the Dominion's plans to send 400 Vorta facilitators to Bajor, despite Wayun still blocking his transmissions to the Federation news service. And he's like, people want to know, and Odo's like, fucking no one knows, like, you're getting blocked, dog. And Jake's like, yeah, so what? I'm a journalist. Jake also informs Kira that Vedek Yasim is planning a demonstration on the promenade for the next day. Jake has some questions and quickly gets under Kira's skin, and she, along with Odo, end the interview because they're fucking cops. They're like, we ain't got no more to say. They're uncomfortable with answers because they know they all suck. Yeah,
Jake has more journalistic integrity than any of our journalists do.
Basically.
During an occupied during an occupation.
Mm-hmm. So, back on the planet, Sisko and a few others are searching for Nog and Garrick. Despite the order from Kevon not to engage, one of the Jem'Hadar, who has had not enough Ketracel White, gets antsy and starts firing on him. He's like, I ain't got my shit. I'm gonna start blasting. And he blasts. He
does blast.
After determining who fired the first shot, the Jem'Hadar leader tells everyone to stop firing and withdraw from engagement. He's like, we'll do it under cloak. And they're like, we can't cloak because we ain't got enough Ketracel White.
Yeah. We need our magic drug.
In the distance, Sisko, O'Brien, and the others ponder why the Jem'Hadar can't camouflage themselves. Sisko notes that it's a good question and hopes the answer lies in their favor. Cut to commercial break. Back on occupied DS9, Kira tries to convince Vedek Yasim not to hold her protest the next day. Vedek Yasim asks Kira what she's doing to fight the Dominion. Kira says that this is different from the Cardassian occupation because fighting is not the answer here. Vedek Yasim accuses Kira of becoming an apologist for the Dominion and a defender of evil, and then asks what it will take for her to stop accepting them and start fighting back.
Kira, she's become a lib.
She's become a fucking libtard, dog. Fucking Kira's straight libtarded. She's blue-pilled as fuck. Yeah. Blue MAGA dog.
Yeah, she's become a genocide apologist.
She thought Biden won the most recent debate. It's like, wait, that's he had a listen. He's just one bad. This is one poor performance. Come on. And I'm like,
come on now.
I've been seeing that online. I'm like, no, what? No, this is not one poor performance. No one thinks that. Like, did you watch the debate last night?
I did watch highlights this morning. I was watching Gozu last night, but I woke up and I just spent like my morning drinking coffee and watching the debate on my phone, and it's just like, oh no. But it's just like, this is what everyone said was going to be happening.
Yeah,
for a long time.
No, this is not everyone. This is what leftists said was going to happen for a long time. They're like, hey, listen, maybe he's a doddering old man. Maybe we should like look for alternatives. Like maybe he should, amicably drop out or something. Be like, hey, it's time for a new generation. I don't know, maybe like Gretchen Whitmer. I don't know, J.B. Pritzker. I don't know, fucking even Gavin Newsom. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they had enough time. They could have like established right from the beginning that he was going to be only a one-term president that wasn't going to seek re-election,
right? And
then could have spent the last 4 years propping up somebody else. But they're just addicted to losing.
Yeah. Also, and this Biden doesn't get it. Like the last term is the fun term because you get to do whatever you want because you don't have to worry about re-election. So like. And he's too old to enjoy that now. He can't do shit that's fun, He's like barely keeping it together. Like even his face was drooping down, so they keep on patching it up every other month. Like
that's why, like, just using the excuse, like, I want to enjoy my golden years and not seek re-election.
Right.
that's a valid excuse to not. Instead, it's just like doing.
Hey Jack, you got the healthcare with the Medicare and the gutted Medicare. Hey Jack, you're like an alley. You're like an alley cat. You got the morals of an alley cat. What?
Instead, he's basically just staring off into space, like bouncing the ball to Trump, and then like having Trump dunk directly on top of him.
Yeah, it is. Like last night was just a dunk fest.
Yeah,
and Biden was
just doing windmill dunks on him.
Dude, like Biden,
also, like,
Biden grew new ankles to break. He was getting dunked on so hard. Like it was.
Yeah, he suddenly became AI and grew like 50 ankles, and then just started snapping them all.
They all broke. Yeah,
they all broke. It was like. It's like, oh no, or kind of like that chick. I don't know if you've seen Old. You know, the beach that makes you old.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, never mind. I won't spoil it for you.
Okay, so Kira tells the Vedic that she simply does not understand, and Vedic Yasim is like, "You're right, I don't understand," and it's pretty great dialogue here. Mm-hmm. Before leaving, Yasim tells Kira that tomorrow perhaps they will both understand. Very cryptic. Very cryptic. So, while Sisko is planning an assault on the Jem'Hadar position, the third of the Jem'Hadar visits the cave to make a deal. He says he will exchange Sisko and the Doctor for Nog and Garrick in a prisoner exchange. Sisko surprises him by quoting a Jem'Hadar proverb, which is obedience brings victory, which is like their mantra, like the fucking thing they say when they come. Mm-hmm. He tries
to
shoot
the cum into their veins.
Right. Yes, that's kind of what. Yeah, because they don't have genitals, so they can't really come. But like, I feel like doing Catch Your Soul White probably feels like coming to them, and that's why they have to do it. It's like I can't camouflage. I haven't come in 4 days. Just like the military. Sisko tries to sow suspicion and resentment in the third for his Vorta handler being by referring to the joint Dominion Starfleet operation after which a Vorta was killed by the Jem'Hadar first, and points out that even though the third is the senior surviving Jem'Hadar, Kavan has not seen fit to promote him beyond the rank of third. He hasn't made him first. It's just like the carrot dangling in front of him. But the third will not have it, and states that he was only instructed to deliver this message to Sisko. Sisko claims not to trust the Vorta, and asks for the third's word that the conditions of the exchange will be honored. The third vows to carry out his orders, and Sisko accepts his deal, making the prisoner exchange. This scene's amazing because I do love Sisko's negotiation with this Jem'Hadar, mm-hmm. because he's basically, Jem'Hadar are these, like, they're designed to be like threatening, like these like they're just only bred to kill, and mm-hmm. Sisko's just like right up on his face and refusing to back down, and that's so good.
Sisko's amazing. I love him.
So, meanwhile, on Deep Space Nine, Kira waits on the promenade in front of the Bajoran Temple, ready to deal with and even arrest the Vedic if she causes any trouble. But everything is quiet. She's like a real fucking lib now. She's like a Blue Lives Matter lib now. Like Blue MAGA, Blue Lives Matter.
She's openly colluding with like the cop on board.
Yeah, she is the cop. I mean, she's always been a cop. Like, whenever Odo's away, she is like the fill-in for him. You know?
She's the cop. She's the second cop in charge.
Right. She's just like, just because like you're not the sheriff doesn't mean you're not a cop. Mm-hmm. So, Jake also arrives, telling Kira that Yasim asks him to be there at exactly 1400 hours that day. Just as Kira starts to tell Jake that he won't find a story, they hear someone say, "What's she doing?" And they look up, and from the second floor they see Beta Kisim standing over the railing atop the upper level of the promenade with a noose around her neck. She yells, "Evil must be opposed," and steps off the upper level, snapping her fucking neck. It's a pretty powerful moment in Deep Space Nine here. Yeah. This.
It's something that I don't think it has ever been really shown in Star Trek before.
No, I don't think they've really dealt with suicide except for like when Worf fucking wanted to kill himself after the blue barrel hit him.
Also specifically suicide as a form of protest.
Right. That's powerful shit, dog. Yeah.
It definitely shakes Kira loose from the grip Blue Lives Matter hat on her.
Yeah, which shows you protest can work.
Blue lines just snapped right off of her.
So, arriving at the Dominion Cave, Dr. Bashir is asked to perform surgery on Kivon to save his life. The many Jem'Hadar crowd around, not to protect Kivon, but because they're curious as to what the inside of a Vorta looks like. And one of them was like, "I want to see his dick." And Bashir's like, "I'm not operating on his dick." He's like, "You should operate on his dick." And then he pulls it out and he's like, no, don't operate on that. That's perfect. That's fucking perfect.
Rub on it a little, see what it does.
Yeah, he's under. He won't know any better. You give him them good drugs, right? He won't know any better. So, the next morning, Kira is already awake when the alarm clock chimes at 5 a.m. She boards the turbo lift and she starts to feel uneasy around the Dominion troops, and she's looking at them like, God, what am I fucking doing? She reaches Ops and she thanks Mevik for her Raktajino when she suddenly becomes very much aware that she is not working alongside the Cardassians and Jem'Hadar. She is now working alongside the Cardassians and Jem'Hadar, who were once her sworn enemies. She leaves. This is really great acting that, like, nothing's said here, but she's just, like, looking around, and, it's a really good scene. Powerful scene. There's a lot of powerful scenes in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of good dialogue, a lot of good body language. It's very good. So, the operation Bashir did is a success, and the Vorta is healed. After asking his soldiers to leave, Kivon offers Sisko another deal. With only one vial of Ketracel White left, Kivon fears that his soldiers will soon go into an uncontrollable rage, killing everyone, including themselves. Kivon plainly tells Sisko that he plans to send the Jem'Hadar on a suicide mission so that Sisko and his crew can kill them all. Immediately after which, Kivon would surrender himself to Starfleet, providing the crew with a damaged but salvageable comm unit with which they can repair and thus signal for rescue. Kivon makes it clear to Sisko that he will be sending the Jem'Hadar to attack regardless if Sisko agrees to this plan or not, which is fucked up. Yeah, it's like, by the way, I'm gonna send, like, I'm gonna send guys for you to kill, and you have to kill them. Like, because it's part of my plan. And, like, what other option do they have? Kill or be killed. It sucks.
Yep. And Quentin Tarantino definitely stole this for Inglourious Bastards. It's just, they really needed, like, a scene at the end where they're just, like, carving the Dominion symbol into Kivon's forehead with a knife.
So,
I surrender, and then it's like.
So, returning to the cave and informing the crew, the Starfleet officers debate the right course of action. Some of them don't like the idea of killing the Jem'Hadar in such an underhanded way, but Garrick argues that they're in the middle of the war, and plus, killing is fun. Lieutenant Neely states that the Jem'Hadar would not hesitate to kill them were the situation reversed, and they will not hesitate to kill them. The argument starts to get a little heated, but Sisko stops the debate, reminding them that it's his decision alone because he's motherfucking captain. And he says Garrick is right. Killing is fun. And they are at war, and it's a choice between the crew, Starfleet crew, or the Jem'Hadar crew, and there is no choice. Everyone heads out to face the Jem'Hadar, fully armed, while Sisko confides to Dax that he's hoping there's a third way. Back on the station, Odo finds Kira at the spot where Yassim killed herself. So, Kira, who's obviously hates herself now, tells Odo that during the occupation, as far as she was concerned, you were either fighting the enemy or helping them. While half the Alpha Quadrant were risking their lives fighting the Dominion for her freedom, she was ready to arrest Vedek Yassim for protesting the station occupation, which she's like, that's not fucking like me. Since she's not fighting the Dominion, it follows that she is helping them and defending them, which makes her a motherfucking collaborator and a libtard.
And notice, like, Odo had no such
no, he never had that revelation. No, because he's
no epiphanies for Odo.
Right.
Odo's just like, gonna have to clean that up now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm still thinking about that great link and how it makes me come. Humph. So Kira vows she will defend the.
He puts handcuffs on the corpse. He's just like, you're under arrest. Killing yourself is illegal.
Yeah, protesting still illegal, bitch.
Throws her into the brig, just like slumps there.
Just puts her into waste reclamation. Just floating in a big pool of poo, recycled into food. Kira vows she will defend the Dominion no longer, and she's like, it's time to start fighting back. Odo's like, hey, maybe don't do that, and reminds her that Sisko wanted Bajor and its people kept out of the war, but Kira makes it clear that she won't let anything or anyone stop her. So she's getting back to classic Kira here. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing her determination, Odo instead decides to help her put together a resistance cell to fight the Dominion and their Cardassian allies. And this is obviously more of a I have a crush on you thing than a this is what I actually believe thing for Odo.
Yeah.
You know? It's just he's like, if that pussy wasn't bomb, I would not be in the resistance with you.
He's just like, you know, sweating. His changeling goo, and just like, you know, has the two buttons, you know, be a cop. Pussy. He's just like, oh god. So in a canyon on the planet before the Jem'Hadar assault, Sisko tells he's like, hey, I want to talk to the third of the Jem'Hadar, and he comes over. Sisko's like, hey, you got fucking betrayed by the Vorta, but it turns out that the third already pretty much understood that he had been betrayed, and he was going on a suicide mission. Yeah. He's not dumb.
No, he's like, I'm not dumb. I'm just doing my job, and I contest that maybe there's no difference. You know. If you blindly follow dumb orders, then it might be dumb. It might be. So, despite how it may appear, the Jem'Hadar are often one step ahead of the Vorta, the third tells him. Sisko offers to allow the Jem'Hadar to surrender, but the third won't even consider the option. Sisko tells him that Kivon doesn't deserve their loyalty, but the Jem'Hadar replies that Kivon doesn't need to deserve it. He says, from the day he was created, the Jem'Hadar know that they are pledged to follow the Founder's orders without question, and the Vorta are the conduits of those orders. He says, it is the order of things. Sisko asks him if the order of things is worth giving up his life for, but the third says that his life was never his to give up in the first place, which is such a fucking crazy line. It goes so hard. And they kind of went through this when they had like the baby Jem'Hadar, and they're just like, you could be whatever you want, and the Jem'Hadar's like, I was designed for only one reason, to kill. Yeah. So seeing that the third won't be swayed by his orders, Sisko grimly rejoins the other officers to kill the fucking Jem'Hadar.
Shoot fish in a barrel.
telling his men, "Our death is glory to the founders." The third leads his men on a charge towards the ridge, opening fire. Cisco and his crew return fire and gun them all down immediately. At the cost of only one person who was unnamed, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, no, it's like you're like they also had like a nameless woman with them, but then like she's referred to as Lieutenant Neely. So I'm like, oh, she'll live, but nameless numberhead man.
Yep, sorry guy.
Die.
Yep,
Sorry,
you don't get a name, you just get to die. A few moments later, Kevon arrives, glancing at the dead soldiers who gladly sacrificed to save his own life, and he offers himself as a prisoner of war, remarking that Cisco and the other officers would all be dead if he'd had 2 more vials of Ketracel White. Cisco is driven by the urge to shoot the smug and treacherous Forda with his phaser rifle then and there, and he's like, "I should fucking kill you."
Yeah.
But he
does have a very shootable face.
He does. I mean, all Vorta have a shootable face. They all kind of look very samey and like, shootable. Just like smug little white guys, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for when I guess even what's his name when he was one?
Iggy Pop. No.
Iggy Pop. Yeah.
I mean, his skin tone is more like leather.
Yeah, he didn't need any makeup.
No.
He showed up and like he's like, "Oh, did you do your makeup in the car?" He's like, "What makeup?"
Cisco orders that Kevon be taken into custody and tells O'Brien to start repairing the communication system so they can call home. Cisco then orders a burial detail for the unnamed crew member and the dead Jem'Hadar. End of episode. What'd you think?
That's kind of crazy that they were just gonna bury him there. They didn't wait till get picked up and so they could give him a space burial.
No, it's gonna be like 10 days maybe.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, I would hate if I was like on a away mission and, like I got killed on that away mission and then they decided to bury me on some shitty planet instead of like shooting me into space.
I mean, when you're on like a foreign place, especially like the woods or like, in nature, you want to bury your dead usually because otherwise it attracts animals,
Well, that's good. Like they can attract animals to eat.
But I mean, it attracts like predators and like scavengers that will hurt you,
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the planet and the flora and the fauna, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they even found any animals. That place did seem like really barren, but they could have just been in a shitty area. Like they could have been in like that planet's Arizona or something.
Yeah, or Utah.
Yeah, or Utah. Just like, well.
Didn't want to go to Utah.
Hell no. I drove through Utah. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes of DS9. I think it's not an underrated episode, but I don't think it's talked about nearly enough. It's a powerful Cisco episode, a great Vorta and Jem'Hadar episode. Like this one like fleshes out the Jem'Hadar as much as the episode The Jem'Hadar. It really gives you like an idea of how their whole society works and like why they do what they do. It's really great.
Yeah. I thought it was great. Like, we had, because also it's like one of those episodes where the B plot is also just as awesome.
Yeah, it's even probably almost even better. Like both the A plot and the B plot are like dour and deal with like really difficult subject matter, like literally suicide on both parts. Like you got suicide as protest and then like suicide as a mission. Honor. Yeah, exactly. Is is like a calling and like what you're made to do. It's really wild. Touches on a lot of stuff and in a way that like only Ronald D. Moore can write in like 42 minutes on television.
Yeah, just like the horrors of war and occupation. Just like, and it is sad. Yeah, Cisco is trying to do the right thing, like by warning the Jem'Hadar ahead of time. He agreed to it because he knew it was like necessary for the lives of his crewmen, but he still was just like, tried to still reason with the Jem'Hadar one last time.
Right. And it's a great, like, also, like, going woke moment from libtard to woke for Kira. And it's a very formative episode to Kira, but I think also to, like, Cisco. Like, and, probably, like, Nog, too, and Garrick. It's a really fucking good. Really fucking good episode. We like to see it. We love to see it. I'd definitely give this one, like, I don't know, probably a 9 out of 10. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely, especially as you said, like, the first 7 episodes of this season, probably just like its own movie or miniseries.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's that whole arc where just like DS9 is occupied. It's all fucking incredible because like after this you have Sons and Daughters, which is also a banger episode where Alexander Rozhenko comes back and
shames his father yet again.
Oh yeah, but that's a great fucking what's his name? Blanking on it. Klingon J.G. Hertzler. Why can't I remember? Martok, thank you. Great Martok episode. One of the best Martok episodes in my opinion. But yeah, like the first like 6 episodes of this season, you got A Time to Stand, which is incredible, which is where they like, commandeer the Jem'Hadar ship. Rocks and Shoals, this one. Sons and Daughters, you got Behind the Lines, the 2-parter of Favor the Bold and Sacrifice of Angels, which is Sacrifice of Angels is where like the Federation come back and like take DS9 again.
It sounds like a move that Sephiroth does in Final Fantasy VII.
It really
like the boss battle. Sephiroth. Time for the
the one-winged angel was the name of one of his moves. Yeah. I only know that because Kenny Omega uses it as his finisher. And he stole it from Final Fantasy because that's what he does.
That's badass.
Hey, baby cat. Love this episode. Can't recommend it highly enough. You got anything more to say about it?
Other than if you haven't seen it, why are you listening to this? Watch it right now.
Yeah, go do that, dummy.
You should have watched it before you started listening to this.
Right.
Dumbo.
Yeah, dumb shit.
The elephant.
You butthead. All right.
Yeah,
well,
asshole.
If you'd like the show, please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And more importantly, go to our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbidiotbs and listen to our other podcasts on the Dumb Idiot Bullshit Podcast Network. My name has been Britton.
And I have been Patrick.
Thanks for hanging with the Soyagers. Be well, travel safe, and check out Rocks and Shoals. It's so good.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with the soy boys, girls, and our willy beans.
Hang dong.
Hang dong. And
shocker.
Shocker.
Soy, 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 soy. Soy, 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 soy. Soy, 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 soy. Soy, 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 soy. Sheer fucking hubris.